Cancer, two ways. New love coming in, like brand new love, new excitement, new slate is clean. Not thinking about the past, not past induced love. This is meeting new people, possibly, the butterfly effect feeling. I shouldn't say butterfly effect because that was kind of a crazy movie, but the butterflies in your stomach feeling, new beginnings, new excitement, new friendships. Now, this could just be you getting out there, meeting people, talking to people, getting to know people. Doesn't necessarily mean that you've fallen for somebody right this moment. On the flip side of this could also be a new beginning between you and you and the other person you're thinking about. An ex, somebody you're split up with, somebody you're not communicating with. Could be a few different people. So the Ace of Cups, though, is very, it's like running through the fields of dandelions kind of energy, because it's just a newness. It's like the bird is sitting here going, you can feel this overwhelming sense of happiness, glowing, whether it's new, whether it's, past energy. All in all, I almost feel like it's just Cancers coming into December with that mentality of bring it on. Whatever it is, good or bad, indifferent, I'm going to find the happiness in it. I'm going to find the blessing in it regardless. The next card you have is your current position coming into the month, and you have the Ten of Pentacles. Now, the Ten of Pentacles is about excess, wealth, a very generous energy, but also about legacy. Every time I see this card, this is like, I'm looking for my forever. Now, for some of you, your ex is your forever, and you're kind of contemplating, hey, we will be getting back together. We will be seeing each other again. Some of you kind of have that mindset of like, I know this is not over. But this is like taking time planning a future. The Ten of Pentacles is, where am I going to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now? Some of you see yourself with this ex person. Others see it with somebody new. Yes, the Ten of Pentacles represents some sort of financial stability as well, but it's also like building a solid foundation. The Ten of Pentacles is also about, like I said, the legacy. And so Cancer, I feel like a lot of you are ending this year ready to open a new year and saying, hey, okay, there's a solid foundation I know what I'm looking for. And I'm ready to find that. This is you ending this year on a note of so many things. There's going to be so many moments captured of newness, new beginnings, new excitement. And this isn't just in love. This is like career. This is a lot of different things. So Cancer, I feel like you're on your way, like forward momentum to make these goals happen, to make these life plans happen. The next card you have is the Hierophant, which is Taurus's card. So you could be dealing with a Taurus or have Taurus placement in your chart. The Hierophant is letting the universe guide. For some of you, this is, I'm not going to think about my ex anymore. I'm not going to think about what they're up to. I'm not worried about any of it, because if there's a plan, if God or the universe or spirit, whatever you believe in, has a plan, then that will come to fruition. I can't control it. I can't sustain it. It's coming. It will come if it's supposed to come. And if it's not, then there are new beginnings on the horizon. It's very similar energy to a few other reads this month, where you're just kind of over the hump of worrying about the what if, the shoulda, coulda, woulda, all of the above. The Hierophant is saying, no, this is much bigger than me, and I understand this. This is the universe having my back. I always see this card as like the universe having my back type scenario, because this is self-improving and furthering yourself, whether it's, education, whether it's job-wise, whether it's exercise, change, lifestyle changes, but still growing and developing and understanding that, becoming the best person you can be. So when the time is right and the time approaches itself, the universe hands you something that you can handle, or even if you can't handle it, you will figure it out. I hope that's not too confusing, but basically, if you're supposed to be with this person and there's a lot of work that it's going to take to be with this other person that you've dealt with before, then, you're never given more than you can handle, even if it feels internally like you are. And yet, if this is something new, this is the universe saying, okay, we're out with the old, in with the new, ready to move on. The next card you have is your distant past. So over the past 5-10 years, could be throughout your childhood. Now, this is strikingly telling me that the universe is saying, be careful, because the Five of Swords is a fear of victory. It's a defeat. It's a dishonor. You've been through that with somebody significant. Now, maybe this ex, it may be past exes. There's two things coming in very clear. A, you can't blame this person, whoever it is you're dealing with now, new or old. You can't blame them for past situations or hold a grudge, or, if you have abandonment issues or somebody lied and cheated before, then you can't take that out on every relationship, or you're going to end up in the same scenario. However, for some of you, this is the universe saying you've been through this situation with this past person, and you need to be very careful in how you maneuver these waters, because if they're not changed, and some people don't believe that, a lot of people say once a liar, always a liar, or once a cheat, always a cheat. And if that's what you believe, then the universe is saying, well, be cautious here, because you're maneuvering to a person who treated you badly or poorly in the past. However, you've taken them back, and maybe numerous times, and you're going to, and I use this a lot. This month has been a lot of blessings, a lot about blessings with every read, and also about that, first time shame on me, first time shame on you, second time shame on me. So the universe is like, be careful of these repetitive patterns. If this a leopard doesn't change his spots. So either that you can see that they can sustain and change, and it can be this new beginning, and it can be that passion again, and they can show you a different side of themselves. Again, action speaking louder than words, then great. And if not, then let's not repeat ourselves. Let's move on to something that's a little bit better for us. The next card you have is your immediate past, over the past 2 weeks, past month or two, and you have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is unplanned changes. This is divine timing. This is the universe. Whoa. Sorry, I've been having a lot of interesting things happening, energies happening in my place the past few weeks. And it's happened in a few different videos. So I'm not sure what that was. But anyways, the whole point with the Wheel of Fortune popping up here is this is divine timing. You have no control over this. So this isn't something you can't make, a relationship happen. You can't make somebody love you. They can't make you love them. You get my point. But at the same time, the Wheel of Fortune is saying this is timing. Like the past few weeks, past month or two, if you guys are separated and not speaking at all, and there's no communication, there was a much needed break here. And the universe is saying, look, maybe you need to learn how to miss them again. Maybe you need to understand if you have passion for them again, or vice versa. Cross watchers, this can be reversed. There's something here, the Wheel of Fortune is saying there were lessons that needed to be learned, or something you're still learning, but finally understood. It could be the aha moment of, they treated me like crud. I don't want to go back into this situation. I don't want to go back into this fear of victory. So I'm setting my sights on something new. However, I can't help thinking that the Ace of Cups is a new beginning between you guys. Like, this is the Wheel of Fortune coming in, and times are changing, and the air is moving, and maybe you guys are moving closer and closer to reconnecting again. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, and you have the Two of Swords. Well, duh. I almost want to say, okay, universe, duh, because the Two of Swords is a decision making. It's a stalemate. It's understanding that a major decision needs to be made. It's cut or dry. This situation is either going to come to an end, and you need to stick with that end. I feel like Cancer, you've ended it before, or they've ended it, or you guys have separated several times. And at some point, you've got to get through the indecision. You have got to figure out how to move forward. Either move forward with this person, or state that this is final and I will never move forward with this person. Because again, you continue on this cycle, and it's stagnation. And it's almost like, you're blocking yourself from either fully outpouring and loving somebody. And okay, give me a break. People are going to comment and be like, well, fuck Dark Dove. They broke my heart. They treated me like crap. And I get that. I understand that. I'm not saying that the behavior is okay and that the choice is going to be easy. But you're also imprisoning yourself, keeping yourself in a cycle of, well, I might give them another chance, or no, I absolutely know they're horrible and they treated me like crap. This is just basically saying, time is going to pass you by. So you either need to say, okay, I accept what happened. I accept the fact that it went to crap. I accept their behavior and understand that it's not okay and I will never tolerate it again, and give it another chance and let your guard down. Or say, no, I will never accept that behavior again. I don't think that they could ever change. I don't think this is good for me, and move on. The universe is saying, though, in the next month or two, you're really not going to have a choice. You're going to need to make the decision. I feel like whoever you're dealing with, Cancer, may not be speaking to you. There may be no communication, but they're still in their head assuming that this is going to happen, or assuming that if they give you enough time, or if they're patient enough and they just kind of stay away from you for a while, you'll miss them enough to take them back. But at the same time, that may be a stupid move on their part, because it may give you more time to reflect on I can do better. There's other opportunities. And for some of you, maybe you are already dating, or there are other people coming in and out of your life, just friendships or people that you're meeting or talking to that will just confirm the fact that maybe this is not a good move for you to ever get back together. The next card you have is your immediate future. So over the next few weeks. Now, you have the Sun card. The Sun card is solutions. Okay, it's clear-sightedness. The fog is lifted. If you are going to get back together with this person, I think you're going to know exactly what it is you're going to see or need or want or feel to find a solution to this. Now, it has to be a compromise. It can't just be my way or the highway, even if they behaved in a certain way. Look, if somebody cheated and you take them back, eventually you have to let that go if you want this to really work. Now, people, again, are going to come in and be like, once a cheat, always a cheat. Don't trust them, etc. I told a story a while back about a friend of mine, very good friend of mine of years and years and years, who was cheated on. They stayed together. It was horribly hard for a few years, and now they're doing really well, have another child, etc. But the whole point is, if you're going to accept the faults and you're going to say, okay, I want to give this a go, then you really need to give it a go and drop the history of it. It doesn't even have to be cheating. It could be, non-committal or, habitual stuff, addiction, whatever it is. You're either in it or you're not. And I think that's Cancer. By the end of this year, you're going to be like, okay, yes, I'm in this full force and I see the solutions clearly, or you're out of it and you go, okay, the only solution is to cut this completely off. Again, I feel like you're going to be forced to make some sort of decision, or the universe may just make it for you. They'll find somebody else, or you'll find somebody else, and it just gets kind of, you guys part and go your separate ways. The next card you have is anything tangible that's going to happen throughout the month. Could be the beginning, middle, end. Could last for a day, a week. You have the Page of Pentacles. Now, the Page of Pentacles is wanting to work on something, but being very realistic and very pragmatic, okay? So aspiring for something. So I feel like you're still willing to, you're still contemplating, well, what if we actually did make this work? What are the solutions to make this work? But you understand that it's going to take work. It's not going to be footloose and fancy free. It's not going to be rainbows and Skittles. Yes, there may be passion there. For some of you, you haven't talked to this person in a long time. You haven't seen them in a while. So there may be this build up to, oh my gosh, he texted me, or she texted me, or he called me, or she called me. And there's going to be some excitement behind it. But the Page of Pentacles is saying, yes, I aspire to find a better relationship, or to be better with each other if it is going to be some sort of reconciliation. But the Page of Pentacles is also saying, I'm practical about it though. I know that we have to put the pieces back together. It's not going to be, hey, they text me and immediately everything falls back into place except for all the bad stuff goes away. That's not reality. And you understand that and you know that. The next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the month. And you have the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is happiness. It's resting. It's a first completion. I feel like a lot of you are going to be contacted. There's going to be communication. And I feel like it might actually be heartfelt communication. They may actually show up and prove to you, or they may actually, actions speak louder than words type scenario. Now, this is what you're hoping for because this is how you're feeling internally. Now, some of you have had your guard up because of this defense and you've needed to. But it's really strange. I almost feel like maybe they've had some time to think and they're going, what the fuck have I done? This is horrendous. I need to get this person back, or I didn't know how good I had it. It's that old, cliche, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. Because internally, somebody is making you feel this way, or this is how you're feeling in general. You want the happy home, the happy life, the, whatever it is for you, kids, marriage, fur babies, a life partner, however you feel, this is like, you're ready to go get it. You want it. But I feel like it's something that you're almost hoping you could have with this past person if they could get their stuff together. Yeah. And your hopes and fears to the outcome is the magician. And the magician is, excuse me, versatile, very versatile, being able to adapt to change, but also a connection. So the magician is telling me, you know, this connection is strong. They know this connection is strong, but what are we doing about it? How are we fixing it? How do we fix these? What's the solution here? How do we get to this? Happy home, resting, first completion. How do we get over the hump of, you know, the past and the finger pointing? How do we make that better? And can we make that better? If we can't, then the decision needs to be made to cut it off. If we can make it better, then we need to start working on it in a fashion that's going to make us both happy.